I don't match energy. I shut the power off. There is a difference. Anyone can react. Anyone can mirror disrespect. Anyone can raise their voice when their ego feels threatened. But control? Control is rare. I used to respond to tone, to attitude, to passive aggression wrapped in fake smiles. I used to defend myself against people who were committed to misunderstanding me. Not anymore. Now I observe, I measure, I decide. Because matching energy keeps you connected to chaos, and I refuse to stay plugged into anything that drains me. The energy shifts. I shift. Not louder, quieter, colder, further away. Silence is my boundary now. Distance is my discipline. Detachment is my protection. You raise your voice. I lower my presence. You bring negativity. I remove access. You bring disrespect. I remove myself. No announcement, no dramatic exit. Just power down. Because power is not in reaction. Power is in restraint. Matching energy is emotional. Shutting the power off is strategic. I don't argue to be understood anymore. I don't beg to be respected. I don't fight to stay where I'm not valued. I disappear. And that silence is louder than anything I could say. There was a time I thought responding proved strength, that defending myself proved confidence, that winning arguments proved power. I was wrong. Real power doesn't perform. It withdraws. It detaches. It lets people sit with the echo of their own behavior. Because when you match energy, you lower yourself to the frequency of the chaos. And I've worked too hard to live in peace to return to noise. I protect my nervous system now. I protect my mind. I protect my sleep. You don't get access to my reactions anymore. You don't get a show. You don't get fireworks. You get nothing. And nothing is terrifying to those who thrive on control. People expect reaction. They expect defense. They expect retaliation. They don't expect calm. They don't expect stillness. They don't expect someone who can unplug without shaking. But I can. Because I've learned something. Not everything deserves energy. Some things deserve absence. Silence is not weakness. It is refusal. Refusal to engage. Refusal to entertain drama. Refusal to let negativity rent space in my mind. I don't match sarcasm. I don't match bitterness. I don't match manipulation. I shut the power off. You can't argue alone. You can't manipulate silence. You can't provoke someone who is already emotionally left. That's the shift. I stopped trying to win. I started choosing peace. Peace is expensive. It costs ego. It costs pride. It costs the need to prove yourself right. But it gives clarity. It gives control. It gives freedom. When I was younger, I burned with reaction. Now, I freeze with control. Cold control is stronger than hot emotion. I see patterns faster now. I see tone changes. I see subtle disrespect disguised as humor. I see it all. And I respond by not responding. Because once you understand your value, you stop negotiating it. You stop explaining it. You stop defending it. You simply remove access from those who test it. Energy is currency, and I invest wisely now. I no longer pour into arguments. I no longer fuel negativity. I no longer feed egos that require conflict to survive. I shut the power off, completely. No flicker, no warning, just darkness. And in that darkness, I find peace. because silence protects what noise destroys. I don't match energy. I don't compete with it. I don't entertain it. I transcend it. If you bring chaos, you lose connection. If you bring disrespect, you lose proximity. If you bring manipulation, you lose access. Simple. No revenge. No drama. Just detachment. And detachment is power in its purest form. I have learned that not reacting is sometimes the strongest response, that walking away is louder than shouting, that disappearing is stronger than threatening. I don't match energy. I shut the power off. And once it's off, it stays off, because peace is not something I negotiate anymore. It is something I protect at all costs.